So the first thing I always do whenever I'm about to start a new spread in my sketchbook is I write the date, and I usually write what I'm planning to do in the spread, which doesn't totally make sense because hopefully you can realize what I drew just by looking at it, but it's a habit that I'm not going to shake. The first girl I'm going to be drawing today is a Hufflepuff girl, and this is probably because I consider myself to be a Ravenpuff, and I feel a special connection with the Hufflepuff house. I actually drew her to look a little bit like me, and that wasn't intentional, but I guess it's a little bit of a subconscious thing. I gave her a peace sign because, I don't know, that seems pretty Hufflepuff to me, and a cute short little sleeved shirt, a jean skirt. I later added some color block patches because those are super cute right now and they feel pretty Hufflepuff, and some little sneakers. I can't draw shoes, but I gave it my best. Once I had the basic body sketched out, I just started throwing on some details like belt loops for her skirt, and then I also gave her shirt some stripes and just random stuff like that just to make it feel a little bit more finished. I'd like to add that I put almost no effort into drawing hands on this spread, and it's very obvious they look like absolute trash, but that's okay. That's not something that I really cared about. I decided to just have her wearing her hair down, and then I also drew a little braid in it just to add another interesting detail and keep it from looking super bland, add a little bit of personality, you know? Once I had everything mapped out, I just went over it, made it a little bit more consolidated, finished up some of the lines that were a little loose, and added some flowers in the background because why not? By the way, if you hear any weird background noise, my brothers are watching a show in the other room and I can't be bothered to go turn it down. So any dramatic music is probably them. Next up is Ravenclaw, and if I'm being honest, I think I like how this drawing turned out the least out of all four. I didn't really put any creative juice into it and it's pretty bland. If I were to ever redraw these girls, I'd probably switch her up the most, but overall it still looks okay and I don't despise it, so that's something. I gave her a book and a satchel because, you know, Ravenclaw. Even though I personally feel like Ravenclaws would hardly ever read their school textbooks, and most of the time it'd just be random, very genre, I cannot pronounce that word for the life of me, wow, genre specific books like fantasy with this trope or realistic fiction with this super specific trope. That feels like a very Ravenclaw thing to me, and I doubt they ever really do their homework. But yeah, also, so now you can see the page jumped to being a lot more complete than it was, and that is because my phone storage filled up, stopped recording, and I was like, you already saw me draw the first two girls, you can just kind of figure out what happened with the second two. So, sorry about that. So for the coloring, I am using Tombow dual brush pens, and for the outlining, I used a Pilot G2 gel pen. Those do not mix well, FYI, they mix awfully, do not recommend. There was a lot of smudging, even though I was being super careful, and they just blend a little bit too easily. If I had to do it again, I would color first and then line art, or just use a different marker or a different pen or something, just throwing that out there. To my disappointment, the color block skirt didn't really work out well because I couldn't get the colors to look different enough. I was going for like 3 or 4 different shades, and I got more like 2. But overall, I still think she looks pretty cute. I'd be interested in redrawing her one day. And now we're working on the Gryffindor girl, which hands down was my favorite, and that's why you saw her in the thumbnail. I have to say I'm pretty disappointed in Tombow's skin color selection because I actually bought their skin color pack and I still only have like 2 colors, and of those they are very light. And yeah, overall, do better, tombow, because I don't want all my characters to look the same. I do love how this Gryffindor girl's dress turned out though. I think it's super cute. It's actually something I would wear myself. As a matter of fact, I would wear all of the outfits except Ravenclaw's outfit. Yeah, maybe I should be a fashion designer. What y'all think? Anywho, I'm just doing a little bit of shading, and then I went in with a brown marker, fixed up her boots, and then I grabbed another skin color marker and started messing around with that. Luckily, this time it didn't smear quite as much because I was prepared for it, but even with me being super careful, it still smudged quite a bit. So again, do not use tombows with the Pilot G2 pen. It's not going to go well for you. Once the Gryffindor girl was finished, I moved on to the Ravenclaw one. And I didn't really use a blue. This is a lot more of a lavender. We're gonna ignore that because I couldn't be bothered to go find a blue tombow that I like. So I just went with lavender, and we're just gonna go with it. She's got like a schoolgirlish inspired dress. Oh, I also added some black hearts on the on the Hufflepuff girl, and I colored in her skin, and she looks super ashy. I kind of hate how that turned out, but yeah, there you are. Nope, you didn't get to see me color in Slytherin. Sorry. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!